Thank you so much for watching Riff TV. Now, this interview is obviously with video, but I don't interview everybody on Zoom. That's why I put it on my Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. We talk to rock artists from all over the genre. So check out Talkin' Rock with Meltdown wherever you get your podcasts. And now to today's video interview. My friend, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Is that your famous double neck behind you?
It is. Well, right here, yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
This is the one I record everything and do everything with. Yeah. Including that new Art of Anarchy song.
Yeah, a lot Art of Anarchy songs. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, I remember the first time I met you, I got a picture with you. I mean, I met you for mere moments, and you let me hold that guitar.
Yeah. It's a nice guitar. It's a whole lot of guitar.
Hey, first of all, thanks for your help with the interview I had with Simon Phillips. I appreciate that.
He's great. Love the guy. Yeah.
And so talk briefly about that little side project.
That is Sons of Apollo bandmate Derek Sherinian. He has, lots of solo albums out, and he's done them with Simon on drums, the two of them together. And it was going to be the first time he was going to be playing his stuff live. So we got Rick Fiorabracci on bass, who's incredible. I played guitar, and we went out, we did a show. We actually 2 shows in one night, and we recorded them and put out a live album of it. And then right after that, we went out to Armenia, and there's this wonderful festival out there called Starmus. It's about astrophysics and music. Star astrophysics, music. And played with Brian May and Serge from System, and just Sons of Apollo played. The Derek solo project thing played, and did a whole lot of playing.
So you got to play with Brian May, is that right?
Yeah, he's such a wonderful guy, yeah.
Have you ever met him before?
I think we met years ago, and we've emailed over the course of well over a dozen years, 15 years, something. And that was the first time actually playing together. Yeah, he's wonderful. Now, there's nothing not to love about that guy.
Right, exactly. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't use a guitar pick, right? Does he use a coin or something? Is that right?
That's what they say. I didn't check.
Okay.
Got to look, but yeah.
That would have been the first thing I would have looked for.
It's like, hey, I was going to go get some candy. You got a quarter? It's like, I'm kind of using it. I can't really. Yeah.
Great, man. Good for you. That's awesome. So the Art of Anarchy is back. Sons of Apollo, Art of Anarchy. You got a lot of things happening. And first of all, tell us about getting the project back together.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all happened again. It was on hiatus. And then John, the guitar player, he came down with, he got sick. And it wasn't COVID, it was 2019, but it wasn't COVID, it was something else where he was just slowly dying. Like every system of his body was slowly shutting down, and doctors couldn't figure out what it was. And they just did real strong therapy to get him back. A lot of blood stuff and a lot of hospital stuff. And as he was getting his energy back, well, actually, before I even say that, while this was all happening, the only thing that would keep his mind off it all is he would just be kind of bedridden and watching movies. And he would watch the Joker movie over and over and over with his guitar in his hand, just watching the movie and almost playing along like he was playing a score to the movie and everything. And he ended up writing the parts that became the song Vilified, watching that Joker movie over and over while he was slowly dying. And once he started getting better, that started that became the beginning of the next Art of Anarchy album. And he and his brother Vince, the drummer, they would come over every Friday in the second half of 2020 when he was getting his strength back, and we were like the only other human beings we would see during the pandemic. And he would come over and we would just bang out a song. And we ended up doing about 2 albums worth of music. And during that time, Jeff Soto from Sons of Apollo, he said to me more than once, he's like, you should have just gotten me to sing. Everything would have been smooth and easy. You know, we get along great. We get lots of work done. Everything is fine. So I told him, I said, well, we're actually, there's new music in the works. And he said, I would love to do it. So I hit up Jon and Vince. I was like, Jeff would like to it before I could finish the sentence. He said, yeah, they've always been a big fan of Jeff, and we all love him. So that was that. So he started writing to the music that was being made, and I would sit in front of the computer and just slowly work on the mixes and everything, and it came together. And when John Moyer couldn't continue with it, so we were thinking, well, who could play bass? And Jeff said, well, my guy Tony Dickinson, he plays with me in TSO, he plays in the Soto band, he's fantastic. And I looked him up and saw these funny videos that he made on social media where it was like how to lose a gig in 30 seconds, and I could show the price that he's getting paid, and the more notes he would play to the song as it went on and on, you see the price just getting lower and lower. Yeah, it's the funniest thing. I was like, oh, this guy's he's a really funny guy and just a killer player. So that was it. And then he laid all the bass to the album, and we just moved forward. We spoke to our longtime friend Dale Rage Restighini, who has been our video guy since the beginning, and just a good friend. And he and I started working together. I first met him in 2010. He was working with Guns, and that's where we met, and we stayed friends. And I was just at his birthday party a couple of weeks ago, and wonderful guy. Yeah. So he recommended the label Pavement. He knows them well, and they've done, I mean, great things with Plush. Fantastic band, Plush. So we talked to them, and that was it. Yeah. So we signed with Pavement and just prepared for Friday to release this thing, and here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, last Friday you're talking about, as we record this day, you talked about it, but the record doesn't drop until next year in February. But I was going to say, what's the old saying? 3rd time's a charm, right? As far as singers are concerned, is that right?
Oh, I would lay bets on that with Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, we have years of working together. Not just Sons of Apollo, but I've played on the solo albums. We've done little acoustic shows together and all kinds of things, and it's good. Yeah.
So who did the artwork?
I am so bad with names. What is his name? If you want to give me like 10 minutes to open up my laptop and check and everything, and
it's just killer. It's a killer album cover. It's really cool.
Yeah, I believe it's the same guy that's been doing all the album art from the beginning, and it leads to so many possibilities of making our own comic books and our own characters and video games and whatever else. And we've talked about that too. And so we'll see if this thing does well and we have the resources to do all of that. We can expand on it and just make more experiences, for lack of a better word, for people that like the music to take it a step further. Yeah.
Now, as far as the first song is concerned, Vilified, I mean, you were just talking about how Jon was, laid up and he was watching the Joker. And of course, you guys are playing in this video on what looks to be like that stairway, right? That staircase.
Yes, it was. That's the thing. The song has such a personal meaning to Jon, the guitar player. I mean, he was truly facing, death. He was like, well, this is it, yeah. And that changes a person. That's why we put out the song first. In my opinion, it's not the strongest song to come out and hit everybody with. There's other ones on the album that would be, but it's such a personal, vital song, important song that started this band back up, and what it came from, from the dude almost dying and just everything that he was living during that time. And that's why there's all this Joker themed stuff in there. That's part of it all. And we filmed on the Shakespeare Street steps in the Bronx that the Joker scene was filmed on, where he's doing the dance and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so that is actually the stairway then.
It is. Yeah, we filmed right on there. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps maybe it looked like it or something, but that was some of the things I was thinking of when I was watching that video. And then of course you've Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in the video, and I've had the pleasure to meet him before, and he's such a good dude. And then Geoff Tate narrating, I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of unusual stuff with this song. Yeah, and Geoff Tate, I mean, he's got that mind crime voice of you hear it, and yeah. So he was the perfect voice to be doing all of that, and it really just puts the icing on the cake. Yeah.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, I was listening to it, and look, I'm in the business of using my voice all the time, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't compete with Geoff Tate.
He's got that unique voice. You hear it, it's him, and we're all big fans of his. And yeah, I'm so glad that he did it.
Yeah. How did you guys end up getting Jeff and Cuba Gooding Jr. on this video project?
We asked. That's it. You just reach out and ask people, and if they're interested, they'll do it. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's great because, the Cuba really he did a great acting job, and it tells like this whole story and everything in this one video. And like you said, the video producer, that's kind of what he does, isn't it?
Yeah. And first thing he said to me when I saw him, he was like, anything for veterans, anything to support and awareness, just anything that could help them have better lives in any way. So. Yeah.
So this record drops in February 16th of 2024, and you said Vilified may not have been the most gung-ho song to a start, but tell us about the rest of the record.
Well, musically, it reminds me more of the first album, which was pretty much Jon and Vince unedited. And those two guys, they're really they're the foundation of the band. Vince the drummer, Jon the guitar player, they're twins, they're like one double brain, and they have a lot of roots in like the big four metal, and you could hear it in the riffs. A lot of the riffs you can hear, like it could be a Megadeth riff, it has a Metallica vibe, or like things like that. They're very into that. They're into they're metalheads, old school metalheads, so you could hear that in the music. And then you have Jeff's voice. Me, what do I add? I don't know, just a couple of wacky guitar moments, and I wrote a few songs in there too.
Well, some of the songs here, Bridge of Tomorrow, Blind Man's Victory, The Good, the Bad, and the Insane. That sounds interesting. Disarray, Echo Your Madness, just some of the songs on this record.
Yeah, Echo and Rivals, those are more, I would say, radio friendly. Not that we try to, it's just you listen back and you say, oh, this one just seems to fit. It doesn't have 50 parts, it's not 8 minutes long. And one cool thing is Alex Skolnick laid a guest solo as well in one of the songs, in the song Blind Man's Victory. Yeah. Okay. And he just killed it. Yeah.
So you just mentioned like some of maybe the big four kind of stuff. Is there softer moments in it, ballady moments? What do you got?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not all, just chugging metal. Yeah. Like the song Bridge of Tomorrow is more of a lighter, I wouldn't call it a ballad, but lighter. Yeah. That's our sappy one for the album.
You mentioned Jon started kind of this project here, this album actually started kind of clicking in 2019. How long has this record been finished?
Well, from 2020 to 2021 2 albums worth of music done, and Jeff pretty much wrote to all of those as well. So we do have a good 2 albums worth of stuff ready. When was it really finished? I guess you could say early this year.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to checking that out. Let There Be Anarchy. That comes out on February 16th of next year. What else you got going on in your life? Because it seems like you always got your hands in like all sorts of little projects.
Well, I have a solo album that's been done for months. I just got to get the artwork done so I can move forward with it. And doing lots of cool stuff with that. Making a little video game for the first single. All kinds of stuff. So the instrumental guitar album that I'm working on, I haven't done an instrumental album since 1995 on Shrapnel Records. So I got that, which I just need to get the artwork done and figured out, and then I can move forward with that. I've been mixing this band that I've been producing their albums, co-producing, because they're really the geniuses behind it all. This duo, this garage rock band called the Doties. They sound like a mixture of Nirvana and Muse, Radiohead, like melodic 90s, really good rock stuff. And it's just 2 guys in the band. The singer, guitar player is very Cobainish, and the drummer, he plays the entire kit with just one arm while playing keys on a bass with his left hand and singing backing vocals. And they are so good. No auto-tuning, no tightening, none of that crap. Like, they just record an album where the 2 of them are looking at each other and playing together, and the first or second take is it. And they're just phenomenal. The stuff is so good. So finishing up the mixes on their 3rd album, which will be called Dreamism. And definitely worth checking out. They're called the Doties, Dodies. And they got some pretty funny videos too. They have a lot of personality, just naturally. Yeah, this like awkward funniness about them. Great band, yeah. So finishing up with them. And the last 2 albums were recorded out in Ireland. I have this friend, Owen Johnston, that has this wonderful studio right in the north end of Ireland, in this really just like serene, quiet spot. It's like there's more sheep than people over there, and it's just, he put together this fantastic studio. So it's just a great meeting place because they live in the Middle East, this band. So we just meet there and spend a couple of weeks living at his big house/studio and recording and just eating lots of Kerrygold butter, which I'm always championing. It's like, it's the best butter in the world. And yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
How important is it for you to record and produce in atmospheres like that?
You know, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it really does help, because when you're recording an album, it's an experience in your life. It's a big one that you're going to remember. And if it's just this sterile thing where you're just going to, the typical studio, and here's the gear, and then you go to the hotel, and then you go back to the studio. Yeah. But to be doing it in this beautiful place where it's just so opposite of where you live, and you can have all these other experiences and experience this whole other culture, you don't forget that, and it adds so much more to your life. And I told the band that when we started recording this, I said, this is going to be more than just recording. This is going to be a life experience. Like, the people you meet and the things, just the way you live here is going to be something so different that you'll never forget, and you're always going to cherish it. And Owen definitely makes it that kind of positive, good, memorable, loving experience that you just can't wait to go back and do it again. Yeah, it's great out there. It's Wild Water Studios. It's in a place called Inch Island, which is an island in the middle of a lake in Ireland. And it's a wonderful spot. And I've been going there for a long time. I would go there and meet up with Owen, and I did music camps over there and gigs and charity gigs. In fact, we did one while we were recording. There's a group out there, I Care, and they have like a school for the younger kids, and they have one for adults with autism. So we did a concert to entertain them all and hang out with them all and have them all join on a song and sing, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
So you worked with Derek on this project. You got Jeff Scott Soto in the band. Where's the Sons of Apollo thing land right now? Is that kind of on hiatus, or what's going on with that?
Well, it's kind of like you cut a worm and it breaks off into other little pieces. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And you also said, you also mentioned, when the pandemic hit, like you kind of didn't want to tour anymore. Is that still kind of like in your mind, or have you changed your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm going to have to tour with bands that I've worked with. You know, I can't not do it and hold back the band. And I wouldn't want fans to think that I don't want to be there. But as far as the direction of my own life and what I want to do with it, I want to be producing more bands. I love teaching, but definitely a lot more producing and mixing and more of the creative stuff and less of the travel stuff. I've been an absentee husband for decades, and it's unfair to my own life and the people in my life. So I'm trying to travel and tour as little as I can get away with and just live for me before I'm dead. So yeah.
So there's got to be a part of you, and I'm just fishing around here, but there's got to be a part of you that loves to travel and experience new things, like you're just talking about this place in Ireland. But plus, you get to go on stage and perform your craft in front of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole lot of variables that all come together with it all. It's the traveling, experiencing a new place, a new culture, a new food, new this, new that, meeting new people, doing what you love to do. And then there's everything else. There's the stability and everything you have of being at home and waking up at the same time in the same bed and eating the food that's in your refrigerator and going to your gym at the same time and going to your studio and just, yeah, I've lacked that stability for a long time and missed a lot of things. So it's, it's like this bittersweet kind of thing. It's like you have all this wonderful stuff, but you're also missing a lot of normalcy and the wonderful stuff that shouldn't be discounted. It's just as wonderful, and if anything, more so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if you would have started to miss it over time, but I it seems like you're kind of set with where you're at. So are people, like you're talking about producing and that kind of stuff, do people reach out to you like on a daily basis through socials or whatever to talk to you about their projects?
Yeah. I hear from a lot of bands and a lot of people, and there's one from the Northeast Connecticut, this young band, really talented, writing good songs. The singer is from Paris, a band called Broken Roads. And let me double check, because I don't trust my own brain anymore. Since COVID, it's like I think I know something and I'm remembering it in all like the wrong pieces and everything. Let me check. It's right, but I just don't trust my own brain. Yeah, Broken Road. Broken Road. Yeah, so I'm supposed to be recording them in a couple of months. Really good bass player, Shannon Wilk. Guitar player, Damiano Christian. Really good guitar player, songwriter. Yeah, the whole band, they're great. And I'm gonna help them do what they're doing. And when I produce bands, I try to be invisible. I try to make it where all you hear is them at their best. And it's not like, oh, I could tell Ron produced that because it has this crazy guitar riff and something like. No. It is like zero about me. It is all about figuring out their personality and just bringing it forward and bringing out the best of it and what makes them a special, unique band. And that's what I try to do. So I already started working with them on one of their songs, just talking about, what could be done to make it its best, and so far so good. Yeah.
I'm just thinking outside the box here, never having recorded anything before, but you're probably trying to be the producer that you want to produce with.
Yes and no, because I wouldn't want a producer that would just say, oh yeah, you just do your thing and I'll tell you if it's a bad take. Like, I would, at this point at least, like, I would want to work with someone more as a collaborator that's gonna bring ideas that I don't have, which is really what a band does. Like, that's why you play in a band. Like, if I'm just doing everything myself, it's gonna be all my ideas and 100% of my own expressing creative crap, which is great for doing a solo album. You get to do that. In a band of 5 people, should be 20% of each person in there, making it 100% of what that band is. And if 20% isn't enough, you go and you do a solo album and you get to be 100%. It's like, this is the exact sounds I want it to be, and the levels and the playing and the this and the that and everything. Everything you hear is 100% that person's spillage. So it's nice to have both. It is, because on one, you get to fully be you in every single possible way. On the other hand, with a band, you get all of this stuff that's beyond what you are, that takes it to another level that you could never bring it to. So both are nice. One has something, the other doesn't.
All right, final thing here for you, Bumble. What's with the beard? It looks a lot shorter than the last time I saw it.
I got it tied up into a bun. No, it's still, if I take it down, and it's there, but what I do is I roll it up into like kind of this like little, like if you turn me upside down, I'll look like this bouffant 60s hairstyle thing, but no, it's just, I tie it up into a little ball and tuck it into itself, and yeah.
Have me worried there for a second. I thought, wait a second, what's going to hang on his guitar when he's playing? You can't do that. Well, listen, dude, really great to see you and talk to you again. It's been a long time. And the new record, like I said, Let There Be Anarchy, drops on February 16th of 2024 from Art of Anarchy. And just as like a personal thing, maybe for me, I hope that I get to see you out there on tour and somewhere in the country coming up here possibly next year.
I hope so. Yeah, it would be good to see. It's been a minute.
Been a minute for sure. All right, Bumble, you be well. Good luck with everything, okay?
You too. Thank you so much.